What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Z the Real here, and I'm just gonna elaborate on the big news, the biggest story right now that's going on in the Cleveland Cavaliers camp between LeBron James and Kyrie Irving. And this is the whole reason why Kyrie Irving wants to leave LeBron James and play for another team, despite this team going into the NBA championship finals 3 years in a row, going 1 for 2. Okay, see, and y'all gotta understand this too. For all my listeners, sometimes you just can't trust any source you see being posted on this internet. A lot of these reporters have ways of stirring the pot. Some of these reporters do what they do just because they want things done their own way. And what I mean by that is, people want LeBron James to leave Cleveland. Okay, they're getting. Well, when I told y'all in some of my last video about LeBron James and NBA Finals, why LeBron is the most hated players because people are getting tired of him. Being successful. They're getting tired of him in the finals every single year. They hate the fact that he was able to win a championship for Cleveland and give Cleveland an NBA title for the first time in their franchise, basically breaking the whole curse that the state of Cleveland can't never win a title. LeBron James basically broke that curse and proved a lot of people wrong. He made a lot of people out to be liars because people have been saying for years that LeBron James was never going to win a championship title for the Cavaliers. And y'all need to understand where LeBron James' loyalty lies, okay? If LeBron could have just as easily stayed in that Miami Heat uniform as you can see here. If LeBron James would have stayed with the Miami Heat and re-signed a contract playing with Wade and Bosh, because he would have been able to play with Bosh at least one more year after 2014. Because remember, Bosh didn't start getting in trouble with his blood clots until after the 2015 season. Okay, so but had he stayed in Miami, Miami would have had one more championship run. They would have beaten the Golden State Warriors. Because remember, the year after that, San Antonio didn't get too far. I think San Antonio lost. They lost to the they lost. I think the second round. They lost. They got put out by the second round either by the Clippers. I think it was. They got put out by the Clippers that year. Remember, it was Houston and Golden State battling each other in the Western Conference to get out to the championship to play against whichever team LeBron James would have been on. But had he stayed on the Heat, instead of it being Cleveland, it would have been Dwayne, LeBron, and Bosh again for like the 5th time in a row versus that Golden State Warrior team. And I don't think Golden State would have beaten this Miami Heat team at all. Wade would have schooled Klay Thompson. Mario Chalmers and Norris Cole would have took Steph Curry to his limit because they both around his age and size. Chris Bosh defensively and him being a good rebounder would have been too much for Draymond Green to handle. And plus, you still had the Birdman Chris Anderson at center who was savvy. And then they had a good bench. You know what I'm saying? And of course, they didn't have Ray Allen would have left, but he would have had Gorsan Dragic and he would have Hassan Whiteside. That's another thing. Hassan Whiteside had got established that year anyway. And if LeBron James was there, they would have made Hassan Whiteside that much more better defensively. So y'all got to look at what's really happening right now. If LeBron didn't care about Cleveland all that much, he would have never went back. LeBron even said that Miami was just temporary. It's like him going off to college to play for university, which he never did. He wanted to play with Pat Riley. He wanted to play with Eric Spoelstra because both of those two won championship titles together. Pat Riley won coaching as the head coach of the Miami Heat back in 06. Then he took his role as general manager. Eric Spoelstra came through and still, kept Miami contending. And he proved that with LeBron, Wade, and Bosh, he was able to help them win an NBA title. He got there 4 times in a row. But that's what LeBron James liked. He liked playing with his best friend, Wade and Bosh. It was basically his 2 closest friends besides Chris Paul. Because he wanted to play with Chris Paul too. And now, believe it or not, the Cleveland was trying to trade Kyrie Irving anyway. They was going to trade him in exchange for Chris Paul. Because for somewhere along the line, I believe Dan Gilbert knew that Kyrie Irving was probably getting tired he was probably getting frustrated after the NBA Finals after they lost to Golden State. So Kyrie Irving probably told him, trade me anyway. And this was David Griffin. I think David Griffin was trying to get him out of there anyway. Yeah, I think Dan Gilbert knew, and David Griffin was actually trying to work out a deal with the Clippers to exchange it for Chris Paul because Chris Paul would have convinced LeBron James to stay another 4 or 5 years. Because LeBron had probably already told them, or he had a conversation now, if y'all don't get me the players we need, better players for my roster going into the 2017-2018 season, I'm going to leave out of here anyway. I'm going somewhere else. You got to understand this, man. LeBron James is getting sick and tired. He's fed up. The man is tired of having to carry this Cleveland Cavalier team every year, year in and year out when he's there, without everybody else having to step up. And see, LeBron James has done against Kyrie Irving because Kyrie Irving showed otherwise. He's the guard that he's never had in Cleveland. Kyrie Irving is way better than Delonte West, Bo Williams, Daniel Gibson, Eric Snow, and whichever other guard they've had in the past. That's how good Kyrie Irving is. Kyrie Irving has that assassin mentality when he's on the court. He can get stuff done for you. He shoots well. He got better handles. So this is one of the main reasons why LeBron James wanted to go back to Cleveland, because he needed Kyrie just as much as Kyrie Irving needed LeBron. And let's just keep this real right now too. Let's just be honest. I'm gonna put it out there. I know some people may criticize me for this. This is my own opinion, but this is the actual truth. Had LeBron, like I said, had LeBron never went back to Cleveland at all and would have went somewhere else, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, the team was being built around Kyrie Irving. It started with him. They had like 4 first-round draft picks. They had Kyrie Irving, then Dion Waiters, then Anthony Bennett from Canada. Then you got Tristan Thompson, Timothy Mozgov, and you had Matthew Dellavedova. All these quality draft picks. And then, of course, you had Anderson Varejao, who was roughly the best scorer at that time since there was no more LeBron. And, you even had Andrew Bynum, even though Bynum wasn't trying to play for nobody else. He was just trying to get a paycheck. Mike Brown actually came back to his team around that time, around the 2013, 2014, came back, but he did horribly. And then you even had Luol Deng on that squad, okay? So a team with Luol Deng and Kyrie Irving and Dion Waiters and Tristan Thompson and Mozgov, you would think that would actually be a playoff team. But no, that wasn't the case. That team did terribly. They tanked all that time. The Cavaliers couldn't win at least like 30 games. They won like under 20 games. They was an under 500 team. They were where the Philadelphia 76ers are. They were where the LA Lakers is now. Just at the bottom of the Eastern Conference, being a bottom feeder to all the other top tier teams that was going on at that time. So they sucked. You know what I'm saying? Kyrie Irving could not lead them anywhere. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't even lead them to an 8 seed. They couldn't even become a 7 seed. So once the moment LeBron came over there is when things started to change for this team. And yes, I know they traded Andrew Wiggins, but you understand that at the time, Kevin Love was the best power forward in the league next to Chris Bosh. You know what I'm saying? All LeBron James told me that I want to secure a spot to the finals. I want to make sure we get in there. So yeah, so Kevin Love was technically a better player because even then Wiggins had problems when he was in Minnesota. He didn't exactly click in Minnesota right away. Andrew Wiggins had to develop at least 2 years before he became the player he is now. So that's another thing. Cleveland just wanted more veteranship because their rookies just wasn't working out over there anyway. And that proved it with what they had, you know what I'm saying, those last 4 years before LeBron. None of those guys could get to the playoffs. Even when you had Baron Davis. Baron Davis at that time was just older man. He wasn't going to help them out. You had Mo Williams that stayed on there another year. He still couldn't help them. You had Anthony Parker that couldn't help him at all. So Cleveland suffered. They needed LeBron James. So if you Kyrie Irving, you might as well just wait it out and stay one more year. Because, see, I understand Kyrie Irving wants to be traded, but y'all need to understand where the problem lies as of now, okay? The 4 teams he wants to get traded to, which is Minnesota Timberwolves, the Miami Heat, the New York Knicks, and the San Antonio Spurs. Now, to be honestly, realistically, the only 2 teams that actually have a chance of landing Kyrie Irving as of now is the New York Knicks, due to Carmelo Anthony, and they could give up one more player off the bench and maybe a draft pick in the Miami Heat. And that's what Pat Riley actually wants to exchange Goran Dragic and exchange a bench player and a draft pick. Okay? The problem with him trying to go to Minnesota is that Minnesota already just signed like 4 quality pieces that they need. They just signed Jeff Teague. You just signed Jimmy Butler. You just signed Jamal Crawford, who will be coming off the bench for you. Despite him about to be 38 years old, he's still effective. And then you still got Taj Gibson, okay? Minnesota, there's a agreement when these players sign a contract for the first time that they cannot be traded or touched within the first month of the deal. Meaning that the Cleveland Cavaliers will have to wait till the trade deadline in January or February, to try and get either one of those pieces. And even then, the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to want a starting player. They're going to want a Craig Anthony Towns. They're going to want an Andrew Wiggins possibly again. After seeing what Andrew Wiggins to do, they may want him just for that shooting guard. or they're gonna want Jeff Teague, or they're gonna want Jimmy Butler. They're not gonna take Jamal Crawford because of his age. Jamal Crawford is, like I said, is going to be 30 years old. He's an old man. The Cleveland Cavaliers could not win with all these veterans, so they're gonna go younger now, especially if LeBron James is not gonna stay. They're gonna want somebody they can rebuild around. So of course they're gonna want a starting player, and then they're gonna want a draft pick. They're gonna want at least a starting player and somebody off your bench or a draft pick. And Minnesota, at this point in the game, after the lineup they got, they actually have a lineup that can actually compete for the playoffs. That's a lineup that could potentially get to the NBA Finals and challenge the likes of Houston, San Antonio, and Golden State. You know what I'm saying? Jeff Teague, Jimmy Butler, with Andrew Wiggins, Greg Anthony Towns, and you got Dang on that team too. With Todd Gibson and Jamal Crawford, that's a playoff team. The T-Wolves are no doubt a 5th or 4th seed, if not a 3rd seed as of now. Even though that's 3rd seed is kind of far-fetched at the moment, we got to see how they do in the regular season. That's still a quality team. So if you're the Timberwolves, you might not want to go after Kyrie Irving at this moment when you already got Jeff Teague, who actually has proven to be an all-star, could actually put up numbers. And just in Indiana, he was in a bad spot. They fired Fred Vogel. Fred Vogel would have used Jeff Teague a lot better than what they just hired. So, that's the thing, man. So, like I said, I think Timberwolves might not want to pursue Kyrie Irving, but even the San Antonio Spurs, the problem with the San Antonio Spurs, they ain't really got nothing that the Cleveland Cavaliers want. For one, they didn't re-sign Jonathan Simmons. That's what really messed San Antonio up, not giving the Simmons a max contract, a max deal. So he went to Orlando to take the deal. And then on top of that, I understand that Ginobili and Parker have decided they're going to return, but why would you need them anyway? See, you can't trade Ginobili and Parker because they're just older guys at this point. It's pointless to trade them. They're going to retire as a Spur, but they shouldn't even be returning anyway. Those two need to retire. San Antonio needs to get younger anyway. So them getting Kyrie Irving, who's 25 years old, makes sense. But the problem is they don't really have an asset that they could give Cleveland, because Cleveland's not going to take no LaMarcus Aldridge, especially after LaMarcus Aldridge's performance against Golden State, where he was a no-show in that series. They're not going to take him. Okay, they don't want Paul Gasol when they got Tristan Thompson already. You got Shannon Fry. They know they're not going to get Kyrie Irving. They're not going to get Kawhi Leonard, excuse me. For Kyrie Irving, I know Kyrie Irving wants to play for Kawhi early, but they're not going to get Kawhi Leonard. And then that's another thing. They don't want Patty Mills either, because Patty Mills, to me, he's not going to fit in with that Golden State, with that Cleveland Cavalier roster. He's better as a San Antonio Spur. That's one of Popovich's favorites right there. So he's already out the way. So it's like they really don't got too much to give him. You could try to get one of them young assets, but those young assets, San Antonio guys, those other guards are not even proven yet. They don't even get enough playing time. So that's the problem. And plus, San Antonio cannot even get Chris Paul. That's what screwed them over. They had their mind set on Chris Paul. Chris Paul said, trade me to the Houston Rockets. So that's the whole thing of him going to San Antonio. So again, I don't see San Antonio in this at all. San Antonio might as well work with who they drafted. They need to develop the young players they got first. So if you Kyrie Irving, like I said, the best two spots is, at least with the Knicks, they could give them Carmelo Anthony, who Carmelo Anthony wants to go to Cleveland anyway to play with LeBron. And then Miami can give up, I think New York could give up, just like Miami, New York could give up one of their guards. Not Tim Hardaway Jr., they just re-signed him. They just signed him to a contract. He returned in New York, but they can give up some of these other guards they have over there. Okay, so and then maybe 2 players. They could give him 3 players, Carmelo Anthony, and like 2 players for Kyrie Irving to join. So that's what New York could actually do. Miami, same way. They could exchange Gosar Dragic, a Wade Ellington, and a draft pick, or somebody else, or maybe a Justice Winslow possibly, or Richardson for Kyrie Irving, because Kyrie Irving and Deron Williams already played with each other in Cleveland, and Deron Williams has actually gotten better by now. His skill set has developed nicely under Spoelstra, so yeah, that could actually work out well. But those are the only 2 teams I could see Kyrie Irving being traded to now, as far as Cleveland making a deal. As far as Minnesota and San Antonio, hell no. But again, I think the media and the reporters had a lot to do with Kyrie Irving wanting to leave. And see, this is why LeBron James wants to kick Kyrie Irving's ass, because he figured, why would Kyrie Irving want to leave me when we worked out well together? Us 2 carried this team. We are a duo that's proven that we can win an NBA championship together. And y'all gotta understand this too. The reason why Cleveland couldn't match up well against Golden State, because Cleveland had too many veterans. They had Deron Williams, who is too old at this point. His career is on a major decline. Deron Williams could do much for him, even though he's a good defender. He didn't put up enough points. J.R. Smith and Iman Shumpert went completely cold. Tristan Thompson was dealing with the Kardashian problems. You know, and I know it's there's a problem with this Kardashian family. They have a history of this. Anybody Khloe and Kim put their hands on, their careers go down the drain. Their careers are never the same. Kim was seen from Reggie Bush and Chris Humphries. You know what I'm saying? How that screwed them up big time. They were top tier superstars until Kim got with them, and then, like I said, they was never the same since. Then for Khloe Kardashian, she was just with Lamar Odom, married to him, and you see where that drove him. That drove Lamar Odom having to smoke crack, because his career just was never the same since him and Khloe had that show, and he just couldn't handle the limelight. He couldn't handle that type of attention with that woman. Excuse me. Khloe Kardashian screwed Lamar Odom completely up, and it was all for money anyway. She was only with him because of just because of his name, and you see where that drove him. He's not even in the league no more. And then she got with James Harden as soon as James Harden signed that Adidas contract. As soon as Khloe started dating James Harden, the Houston Rockets got swept in the playoffs, and Kevin McHale got fired early in that season. So that screwed them over. So James Harden had to get rid of her real quick. Now she's with Tristan Thompson, and LeBron warned Tristan Thompson not to bring Khloe Kardashian to that stadium anyway. He warned him, and this is nothing against the Kardashian family. This is what everybody thinks. This is what people say. LeBron James knows that the Kardashian family are bad luck. He told him Khloe's bad luck. Don't bring her to his game. Tristan Thompson became hard-headed, brought her anyway, and you see what happened. Tristan Thompson was a no-show. He doesn't even average the same rebound, the same triple doubles he did last year in the finals. So, and then even then, the bench is just like I said, just too old. They got rid of DeAndre Wiggins, who they should have kept. So this is the problem with Cleveland. They need a much younger roster to compete with Golden State if they're gonna play them a fourth time in the NBA Finals. So that's just where we is right now. And see, and this is another thing too. LeBron James doesn't have a reason to go to the LA Lakers right now. Okay, I don't believe he even said he wants to go to LA. The man is still under contract with Cleveland one more year. LeBron James' heart and loyalty is with Cleveland right now. Why would he even tell reporters he wants to go to the Lakers after next year and even leave? He gave Dan Gilbert and David Griffin an ultimatum. Okay, if they don't fulfill his needs right now and what he's trying to do with the team, then he's going to leave. He didn't say that he officially wants to leave anyway. It's not official yet. It's not set in stone. So I don't know why the reporters would do that. It's just the only reason why reporters would put that out there because they want LeBron James to play with the Lakers. They want the Lakers to contend again. And see, this is why the NBA has the trouble it has now. Is why people think it's scripted, because these reporters want things done their way. They want teams like the Lakers to stay winning championships versus all the other teams. First of all, just because LeBron James went to Lonzo Ball's game in the summer league and watched him play, don't mean he's going to join him. And even now, man, if you're the Lakers, would you even want LeBron James over there and you're trying to get Paul George to sign with you next season and leave OKC? Okay? With the momentum Lonzo Ball has, with them getting Brandon Ingram, who can actually develop nicely, if you give him time, he can actually be that next Kevin Durant. Because that's what people would say when Brandon Ingram first got drafted, that he could possibly be the next Kevin Durant player. He has the frame and the size. Okay? With Jordan Clarkson playing as well as he is becoming better and better, and Julius Randle becoming a better player with Larry Nance Jr., and now they just got Caldwell Pope. Why would you want LeBron James coming over there anyway, interrupting that? Because LeBron James is going to want a leadership role. All right? LeBron James' popularity and fame causes him to take over, and LeBron James is obviously not that type of player. Even now, LeBron James wasn't trying to take the shine away from Kyrie Irving. LeBron knew it was Kyrie Irving's team when he came over there, but LeBron James just went over there just to help Cleveland win a championship. And see, if LeBron James was to leave, it'll be Kyrie Irving's team again. So if you Kyrie Irving, you might as well just stay. Okay, you're more valued in Cleveland anyway. You'll be proving that it's your team. It was your team before LeBron came over there. You're basically a co-captain. If LeBron was to leave, then it's your team again. He might as well just stay. Be loyal, okay? It don't make sense for Kyrie Irving to even go to the Western Conference or go to any other team when all these other teams don't have what the Cleveland has, okay? With LeBron James, you're locked to win a championship anyway. Even if LeBron James leave, you know what I'm saying, they can build around you anyway, okay? Kyrie Irving has gotten more skill since last year, so they'll have something there. He's already paid a big contract anyway. But maybe Kyrie Irving feels he's not going to win another championship no more if LeBron leaves. So, okay, that's understandable, okay? But if you Kyrie Irving, you might as well wait till your free agent did leave because there's not a team around who's not going to take a chance on Kyrie Irving. And that's including my Clippers, the Milwaukee Bucks, and all these other teams. Okay, Kyrie Irving will have even more value if he stays one more year and gets to the finals a fourth year in a row. So, Kyrie, I understand, you know what I'm saying, you and LeBron are not getting along, but don't listen to these media reporters. Don't let them stir the pot. Stay one more year, roll with the punches, then leave when you're a free agent. That's what you might as well do. And that's another thing too. If Kyrie Irving becomes a free agent, he could demand the money he wants anyway. Okay, y'all saw what Steph Curry did. You saw what Livingston did. Yeah, you saw what Iguodala, Kevin Durant. You saw what Gordon Hayward, all these players are doing when they're free agents. They're getting big time money and big time contracts to play where they want to play. They are forcing these owners to pay the contract they want to be paid. So if you Kyrie Irving, if you want to leave Cleveland, wait till the 2018 season when it's the off season, the summertime or July, then go to a team and demand a big contract. Because a lot of these teams will do it. So this is the afterthought here, and then again, it's just my response to what's been going on between these two. Just letting y'all know, and I don't believe everything you hear. I don't like the fact that the reporters say that LeBron ruled out ever going to the Clippers when him and Jerry West are actually best friends. Not saying they're best friends, but they're actually close. Okay, they're actually good friends with each other. They know each other well. They've had conversation in the past. Jerry West likes LeBron James, and LeBron James respects Jerry West a whole lot. If the Clippers are actually was to show their full potential, now they don't have Chris Paul no more, and they're actually able to go on an amazing run, and they're actually able to get to the Western Conference Finals and possibly take Golden State to 7 games, I don't see why LeBron James would not want to go to the Clippers. Him going to the Clippers would get them into the NBA Finals, especially with him, Gallinari, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, with a Pat Beverly, Lou Williams. That's a championship team right there. That's a squad that can challenge anybody. And I'm not just saying this because I'm an LA Clipper fan, but it's just the truth. LeBron goes anywhere right now, he automatically puts them in the finals. And the Lakers know this, so why the reporters is trying to put him over there next season. Which I still highly doubt he's going to the Lakers because, again, that's Kobe Bryant's legacy. He was inspired to beat the Lakers in the finals anyway all this other time. So why would he go there now? LeBron didn't go to the Lakers the first two times. The first and second time he was a free agent. When he went to Miami, and then the year after he left Miami and went back to Cleveland. He's not going to go to the Lakers now. So again, man, that's just my response. Y'all stay blessed. Stay tuned. I'll see you soon.